field two. Number 1 is Baronet, Adrian Maguire, and Baronet is one of 4 in this race that hold entries in the Grand National. He's got 10-2 in the National. 2 is Young Kenny, Brendan Powell. 3 is Him of Praise, Jimmy McCarthy. 4, Call It a Day, Richard Dunwoody. 5, Sparkling Cone, Norman Williamson. 6 is Ottawa, Joe Tizard. Number 7, Hollybank Buck, Fran Flood in the saddle. And that's also got a Grand National entry, has 8-9 in the National. Call It a Day is also another one, has 10 stone. Number 8 is Forest Ivory, Richard Johnson. 9, ANC Express, Warren Marston. 10, The Last Fling, Seamus Durack. 11, Cavallero, Sean Curran. Number 12 is Flaked Oats, Robert Thornton. Take out number 13, Miss Diskin, a non-runner. 14 is Brian's Delight, Shane McGovern, and he's put up 3 pound overweight. And 15 is Ballylera, Simon Burrow, who will ride that at 10-4, 4 pound over. 14 to go in our Marstons Pedigree Midlands Grand National, and a fascinating betting race.
And we've got a strong favourite here in Young Kenny. 11-4 from 3-1 won the Greenhalls at Haydock last time out. It's 8-1 Sparkling Cone from 6s, 9-1 Cavallero, 10 from 8's Hollybank Buck, 10-1 also Him of Praise, Ottawa and Forest Ivory, 12-1 ANC Express and Baronet, 12-1 also Call It a Day, 16-1 The Last Fling, 25-1 Bar.
And they're away. 3 complete circuits ahead of them for this Marstons Pedigree Midlands Grand National. And going on, ANC Express is going to be the early leader from Ottawa, and up there as well as Young Kenny, who's got into a handy position third, followed then by Hollybank Buck. On the inside is The Last Fling, out wider then Flaked Oats, and going very wide around that first corner is Brian's Delight. Further back in the field, Call It a Day from Him of Praise, and right there in the centre is Forest Ivory. They're followed by Baronet. Sparkling Cone is out the back as they come to the first of 24. They're followed then by Cavallero, and a long last is Ballylera. On settling down now and heading towards the second, which is the water. They jump it 3 times. In fact, they jump every one on the circuit 3 times. Coming towards the water, ANC Express, the grey, showing the way from Ottawa in the green sleeves. On the left, the red blinkers of Brian's Delight. They're 2 lengths to Flaked Oats in the centre. Then out wider on the track is Him of Praise with the blue blinkers, yellow jacket. Young Kenny is very handy, 4th or 5th on the inside as they head towards the next plain fence. They're nicely clear of Call It a Day and Cavallero in the early stages, and just getting a reminder, Him of Praise, just to keep his mind on the job early. It's a long way to go though. Then The Last Fling, Sparkling Cone is one of the greys towards the rear of the field from Forest Ivory and Baronet, who's just as they head towards the 4th, couple clear of the second last horse. Continuing their journey down the back, they've jumped 4 and another 20 to go. The leader on the inside, the grey here, is ANC Express. From in second, Ottawa, 1 length away in third. Up on the outside, Brian's Delight, those red blinkers from Young Kenny and Flaked Oats, 1 length to Call It a Day. As they head to the 5th, Cavallero is out very wide. The Last Fling is tucked away on the inside at this stage. Continuing their journey up the home straight towards fence number 5. ANC Express, the first to rise. All got over it okay. Sparkling Cone is well back in the field, giving them a fair start. Hollybank Buck is just behind him. But heading up now towards the first ditch, and it's ANC Express by a length or so to Ottawa and Flaked Oats. Young Kenny jumped it in 4th. Then in 5th is Cavallero out wider, followed then by Brian's Delight, who's just dropped back from Call It a Day. The Last Fling over on the far side, Forest Ivory in the centre, Him of Praise on the left, the blue blinkers as they head towards the next. Sparkling Cone is well back with Hollybank Buck at this stage. So too is on the left Baronet, and a gap then to Ballylera. Heading towards the 8th. And the leader to it is ANC Express, asked for a big one, responded well too. On the inside from Ottawa in second, 1 length away is Flaked Oats in third. Then Young Kenny with the run of the race 4th, out wider Him of Praise from Cavallero. They're followed then by Call It a Day, and back in the field is The Last Fling, who's racing on the inside of Forest Ivory. 1 length then to Baronet on the outside of Sparkling Cone from Hollybank Buck. Back in the field too as they head into the back is Brian's Delight. He's dropped right back through the field, and Hollybank Buck just on his inside, a gap then to Ballylera. heading into the back towards the 9th, and ANC Express the first to rise. From Ottawa in second, Flake Dotes, the Paul Nichols trained runner, up in third. Then in fourth is Young Kenny. Out in the centre, and the black jacket, red cap, is Caballero. They're followed next in the field by, out on the inside, Call It a Day as they head over that one, Water, which is number 10. He's rowing hard on ANC Express. Warren Marston trying to maintain his position, but Ottawa going to him very easily on the outside as they head towards the next, the 11th. Flake Dotes jumped it in third from Young Kenny. Mistake back in the field, and he's gone there too. It's Brian's Delight has catapulted Shane McGovern out of the saddle, but the leader is Ottawa from, I should say it's him, he's further back in the field. He's continuing on Brian's Delight, but heading towards the next. We'll pick him up in a moment, but the leader is Ottawa by a couple of lengths to Flake Dotes. Then in third, under the whip at this stage, is the grey ANC Express. They're followed by Young Kenny, Caballero. Then out wider is Him of Praise. Call It a Day from Forest Ivory, Sparkling Cone, Baronet. The last fling is back in the field from Hollybank Buck as they prepare to leave the back. It must have been Ballylera who parted company with Simon Burrow. Heading up the home straight now towards fence number 13. Still on the floor, that rider. But it's Ottawa who's now reached a clear lead by a length or so to Flake Dotes on the outside. Then in third is Young Kenny. Out wider, Him of Praise being bustled along at this stage by Jimmy McCarthy. They're followed then by Young Kenny in behind them from Call It a Day as they head to the next from Caballero and Sparkling Cone. Then Forest Ivory ridden along out wider. Further back is Hollybank Buck, and next in the field Sparkling Cone, who's starting to make some ground on the far side, the grey. ANC Express has dropped back in a gap then to Baronet as they head up towards the one that'll be the second last next time round. And it's Ottawa who shows the way in the green sleeves from Flake Dotes, the noseband in the centre. On the left is Him of Praise. Cavaliero's grabbed hold of the bit. Young Kenny is just in behind them. They're followed by Sparkling Cone, and being pulled up at the rear of the field is Brian's Delight. They've got a complete circuit ahead of them in this Marstons Pedigree Midlands Grand National. Ottawa showing the way from Flake Dotes and Him of Praise, who's out wider in third. Then Young Kenny still holding his place in fourth, the inside from Call It a Day and Caballero, and Hollybank Buck has made good ground 4 and 5 wide on that turn. Further back then is Sparkling Cone from the last fling. Being hard ridden is Forest Ivory, a gap then to ANC Express and Baronet. And they're dolling off the third fence down the back. Ballylera, well, the rider must be in a bad way, but they head over the first one down the back, number 17. They jump a total of 24, and it's Ottawa being pressured by Him of Praise. In the centre is Flake Dotes. On the inside, Young Kenny, the riderless horse preceding them as they come to the water. They're followed then by Caballero. Next is Sparkling Cone, Call It a Day, Hollybank Buck from the last fling, and they're followed next then by Forest Ivory as they head into the back now and towards the third one there. They're missing it out. It's been doled off, as you can see on the inside, and they're still attending Simon Burrow, who's on the inside rail, still yet to rise. Coming towards 5 out, and Young Kenny on the inside, preceded by the loose horse, has gone up to challenge Ottawa on the outside. They're 2 lengths to Call It a Day from Caballero, who's going pretty well. In behind them is Hollybank Buck as they head over 5 out. Further back is Flake Dotes, a long gap to Him of Praise, who's now dropped away. Brendan Powell on Young Kenny, getting to work now, asking for a response, just to slap down the shoulder, and gets 1-2 by 2 lengths to Ottawa. Cavaliero's a big danger moving into it. They're followed by Call It a Day and Hollybank Buck as they round the home turn. Flake Dotes behind them from Forest Ivory and Him of Praise. They've got 4 fences left to jump in the Midlands National. Young Kenny the favourite out in front by 2.5 lengths. Cavaliero's the big danger in second. A gap then to Hollybank Buck, who's staying on well. 4 out, Young Kenny jumped it like a stag. Cavaliero's making ground ground though, followed by Hollybank Buck. Behind them is Call It a Day. They come up towards the last ditch now. This is 3 out, and it's Young Kenny on the near side. Brendan Powell given a slap with the whip. Cavaliero going well the far side. Hollybank Buck has jumped into second. They're followed by Call It a Day, Flake Dotes, Ottawa, Hymn of Praise, Forest Ivory, and they've kicked right away from the last fling. They race up now with 2 fences to jump in the Midlands National. Young Kenny, Brendan Powell the near side. Hollybank Buck is now ranging up, puts in a mighty leap on the far side, jumps at second, followed by Call It a Day, and behind them at this stage is Flake Dotes, Cavaliero, who hasn't found as much as expected. 1 left to jump now. Young Kenny on the near side comes towards it, 2 in front, jumps out to his right, lands over it though, 3 in front of Hollybank Buck and Call It a Day. Hymn of Praise staying on again, but this has been a magnificent staying performance by Young Kenny. Goes on to win the Midlands National for Brendan Powell by 6 lengths. Second is Call It a Day. Hollybank Buck is third. They're followed by Flake Dotes in fourth, in Hymn of Praise, Forest Ivory, Ottawa. Cavaliero behind them from the last fling, who's the last one to finish. The winner is number 2, Young Kenny, owned by J.G. Reid, trained by Peter Beaumont and ridden by Brendan Powell. Second is number 4, Call It a Day, ridden by Richard Dunwoody. Third, number 7, Hollybank Buck, ridden by Fran Flood. And fourth, number 12, Flake Dotes, ridden by Robert Thornton. And I'm pleased to say that Simon Burrow has got to his feet and is walking away after that very, very nasty fall from Ballylera.
Very happy connections of Young Kenny. Real confidence on the course, and that's 3 out of 3 favourites that have gone in here so far at Uttoxeter. Young Kenny completes the valuable double of the Greenhills and then the Midlands Grand National Handicap. Returned the 5-2 favourite. Good run from Call It a Day in second at 12-1, and Hollybank Buck hung on for third at 11-1.